Zo.
It was around 3 p.m. on a Monday afternoon. While their peers were learning in school or playing games after a long day of academic activities, these children, poverty-stricken, with little or no parental guidance, were in the bellies of gold pits, working to earn a few naira notes. Because if they do not, food will elude them back at home or wherever it is they retire to for the night. This is the story of disadvantaged children and orphans who work side by side adults in a gold mining site in Nasarawa state. This they do to make a living, help their mothers, and put themselves through school. However, they are bereft of protective gears and air-purifying respirators. Nasarawa State is in the north-central region of Nigeria, bordered to the east by the states of Taraba and Plateau, to the north by Kaduna State, to the south by the states of Benue and Kogi, and to the west by the Federal Capital Territory. With about 25 ethnic groups, the state is named for the historic Nasarawa Emirate and was formed from the west of Plateau State on 1st October 1996. The state has 13 local government areas and its capital is Lafia, located in the east of the state, while a key economic center of the state is the Karu urban area suburb of Abuja, along the western border with the FCT. Known as the home of solid minerals, the state has tremendous potentials in solid minerals. It is on record that the state is blessed with the largest deposits of several viable solid minerals, including coking coal, barite, lead, gold, marble, zinc, and lithium, and also plays host to most of the active solid minerals development companies. This is even as the state is currently producing barite that is used in drilling petroleum and marble that is sold across the country. However, the fact is that at the moment, about 70% of mining activities in Nasarawa State are carried out by artisanal miners, and unfortunately, women and children form a considerable percentage of the workforce in this sector. A little over noon on a Monday afternoon, I and my team set out to a community along the Abuja-Kefi Expressway, only 33 kilometers away from the Federal Capital Territory. It took over an hour before we arrived at our destination. Our team was led on a motorcycle by one of the locals in the village to a mining site located in the outskirts of the community. It's a jungle out here as I see young men, women, and children scattered across a large expanse of land, each manning a big hole with the belief that within the stones and debris lies gold, which can solve their numerous financial challenges. My guide speaks with them in Hausa, a language widely spoken among the natives and residents, and assures them that our visit is for good. As we move, we come across a huge underground pit, and to my surprise, I see underaged boys carrying sacks of stones and rocks believed to contain deposits of gold. The leader in charge of this portion, a young adult named Zakaria, also called Dada, says he and other children took up artisanal mining to support their families and live a life free of crime.
I think inside we sleep now. Now for inside another place be our room. Even past one we dey inside. Abi? Fear what? What if it break? If the tell you say God no dey, person will say God no dey na lie na. God dey. I see some children for there. Children too they do mining. They do anything. We dey do am together with them. Now money we dey find now. Now money we need. But their parents know. Their parents know about say that they there. They know. Even me, if as I dey here, my papa, my mom, all of them they know say now for this place I dey. They know the work say now the work I they do. Now money we dey find. Abi? If you know work well, you know go get money. But if you suffer, you go get money. You know money you dey find. This one even better for us. Where to go carry another person's this thing? We know one now. That's why we come this place with the suffer so that we will get our own this thing. Nothing concerned with anybody property.
I have been mining for 13 years. I am doing this to have a better life for myself and my family. My family is in Katsina State. I stopped schooling after primary school. I am doing this to survive, and I just want the government to support me and my friends with modernized tools and equipment to make our work easier.
Kana aiki a nan ne?
Eh.
Aikin me kake?
Muna aikin zinari ne.
Aikin ma'adinai kenan ko?
Yes.
To tun yaushe ka fara yin aikin?
Na daɗe da yi.
Ka kai kamar shekara nawa?
Ba zai kai shekara ba.
Amma ka dai daɗe?
Eh, na dai daɗe. Eh.
To, amma kana zuwa makaranta?
Ina zuwa.
Kana zuwa wani makaranta?
Primary school.
Wani primary school?
Na can hanyar Angon Tofa. Ni abin da nake son zama, ina gama in zama mai aikin tela. Ina son tara kuɗi ne saboda kuɗin ɗinki. Kuɗin da za shigar da mutum ɗinki. Baba na shi bai da lafiya. An mai operation. Mama na ita ba ta da kuɗi ba. Shekara na 12. Ina yin aikin zinari. In mun je mu wanka muna iya samun 10,000.
Ban da sana'ar da ta wuce in yi wagga, ita ɗaya nika son in yi har abadan har in mutu in zama dila in tara in yi kuɗi sun sani kuma yana taimaka musu.
While some were there out of necessity, for others it was compulsory, and for most it was circumstantial. But the children have two things in common. They are missing out on an education and are being exposed to hazardous substances which portend grave danger to their health in years to come. To silent, discreet observers, it was a sad sight to take in. But for them, it is their reality, a routine they have become accustomed to. As we rode back to the village, I asked my guide if the community has a structured leadership, and he takes me to the house of the village head, commonly known as Meyangwa. He is not at home, but his assistant grants us audience. Although he acknowledges that the community is aware of the activities of artisanal and underaged miners, he says poverty and the lack of adequate facilities for academic activities have been a driving force for children and youths who work there.
We are aware of mining activities in our community involving both adults and children. Most of the children who work in the mines do not go to school, as many of them are brought from other areas to work here. Most of the children in our community who work there go to school. We have a government primary school. The only secondary school here is privately owned. The schools are not bad, but we need more teachers for our children and a secondary school.
The community has just one government-owned primary school that is bereft of qualified teachers and facilities. In all its years of existence, there has never been a government-owned secondary school, let alone an advanced college or tertiary institution that would motivate the children to aim higher in life. The schools, which have a bit of standard, are privately owned, And it is no surprise that these parents, who are mostly farmers and traders, struggling to make ends meet, may not have the money to see them through. As we got back to the FCT, I sought to speak with the President, Miners Association of Nigeria, Dele Anyalike. He tells me that although the association is aware of the activities of underage minors, the larger problem lies within the activities of illegal and artisanal miners.
There are some structured mines that are well established, well formalized, with appropriate security measures. So you cannot find any kind of abuse like child labor in that kind of environment. But by the time you go to some clusters, especially where artisanal mining is going on, it is the same thing like you see all these herders taking along children of 3, 4, 5 years, heading sheep or cattle. The same way it happens in mining. There are some mining locations that most of these artisanal miners, they have made their homes. And you know, when you make somebody somewhere a home, it means you're already raising your children there. In one particular site, we are experiencing this. We have mining settlements where people have come to make a home, and once they raise children there, they involve their children in all the economic activities that they are doing. And when you look at all the economic activities, the traditional ones, there are hardly any one that they don't involve child labor. Even if ordinary bean cake sellers, they give their wares to their children to hawk for them. Those selling pure water along the road, they give their underage children to run other vehicles on the road. The same thing happens in mining.
Over the years, the federal government, worried by the rising spate of underage and illegal miners' activities in the country, says it is setting up strategies aimed at addressing this issue. At a recent meeting with top officials of the ministry to defend the 2024 budget estimates before the House of Representatives Committee on Solid Minerals at the National Assembly Complex, Abuja, the Minister of Solid Minerals, Dele Alake, blamed unnamed powerful Nigerians for the illegal mining activities and acts of terrorism going on in different parts of the country. The activities of these so-called unnamed Nigerians are worrisome as they portend danger for Nigeria. The lingering issue of terrorism may remain unabated if underage mining remains unaddressed, as this will remain a breeding ground for new recruits for terrorist activities. Since unveiling his blueprint in line with the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the Minister of Solid Minerals, Dele Alake, has stressed on the need to have a formal structure to monitor the activities of miners so as to enable the sector achieve its desired results. With the tales of these child miners, will this ever materialize? Across several fora, the Minister for Women Affairs, Barrister Uju Kennedy Ohaneye, has pledged commitment to protecting the rights and cause of Nigerian children. At the recent celebration of the International Day of the Girl Child and the Universal Day of the Child, she declared zero tolerance to all forms of abuse, be it physical, emotional, or otherwise, against children.
If you can't talk to anybody, talk to government directly. The government of this day we have, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he has ears to listen to your problems and is eager and ready to solve it. So please, don't keep anything to yourself. Don't bottle in anything. 69 years of lousing is already too bad. 69 years of our children still being bottled up, that you can't say your mind. It's already too bad. If we start today, we are not still too late. We can still achieve it.
While the government, state and federal, gear up to take action on the issue, more and more children are being contracted to work in mines and are therefore being denied a chance to compete with their peers in future. Although most government officials engaged in the course of this investigation recognize the obvious problem, little was preferred in terms of immediate solutions. However, experts in the mining sector and stakeholders spoke on the way forward.
Child labor has been a long-time issue internationally and locally in Nigeria. Internationally, there's a lot of conventions and laws pertaining to child labor. The Convention on the Rights of a Child. There is the Minimum Age Convention number 138 of 1973. There is Convention on the Worst Form of Child Labor number 182 of 1989. Then there's Charter, African Charter on the Rights and Welfare of the Child. These are the prelude to Nigerian Child Rights Act of 2003. It was in 2003 that Nigeria domesticated all these laws and conventions of international bodies to prohibit child labor in Nigeria. It is known as Child Labor Act of 2003. So since 2003, there is on ground laws prohibiting child labor. And the government is supposed to sensitize people both in religious places of worship and the traditional rulers to talk to their subjects about the illegality, about child labor, about the provision of child labor. About 11 or 12 states have not even domesticated this issue of child labor because some of them feel that their state, their tradition and their religion allows them certain age to be regarded as an adult. But we are now in 21st century.
Mining is labor intensive, as it's been done presently in Nigeria. Mining is labor intensive. Just as it's capital intensive, it's also labor intensive because we use manual labor majorly to mine. We cannot do with these artisanal miners. Some of them are engaged by some structural companies to be as their workers. And the only thing that we are appealing to the government to do is to reduce this human intensity of labor in mining. We are appealing to government to help us with equipment leasing facilities.
In all these interactions, the big question remains: how long before something is done? Until action is taken and the right facilities are put in place, children will continue to toil in the belly of gold pits in mining communities across the country in a bid to earn meager income, even if it means paying the ultimate price.